We go through and just nail it off. My name's Josh, and this channel is all about building your own house and saving a ton of money. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. All right, let's get going. Got all my material here to start framing. Only thing I'm missing are floor joists, so I figured instead of waiting around for those, I'd start building jacks and headers, stuff like that for framing walls. All of them are going to be pretty much the same measurement as far as jacks go. So what I like to do is go through and build all the jacks first. And I know I got about 18 interior doors, and each door requires 2 jacks. So times that by 2, and that's how many jacks I'm going to go ahead and pre-build. And I got all my pre-cut studs here, and we're going to cut all of those to make the jacks, and the scrap that's left over, you're going to save those because that's going to be the blocks when you frame your opening, and you're going to use that to shoot it back to the side of the jack. So I'll go ahead and show you how to build a jack. It's pretty simple, but if you've never done it before, this may be helpful. Let's get this done. First thing I do is go ahead and get all the studs I need to cut 36, because that's how many jacks I need, down to 81 1/4. And how I got the measurement 81 1/4 is the pre-hung door is 82 1/2, and then you got that jack sitting on top of a 2x4 plate with 1.5 inches. So if you cut your stud 81 1/4 and nail it to another stud, which is how you make a jack, that gives us just enough height to squeeze the pre-hung door in after the 3/4 floor is done. So I know that sounds confusing, and it's easier to understand what I'm talking about if I actually had a wall framed up, which you're going to see that soon. So, but in the meantime, I'll go ahead and show you how to make a jack. So here's the system. We have all of our measured pieces here. We flip them over here, put them in miter box, cut them, throw them in this pile. That's our blocks that are left over. And then after that, we're going to line up a bunch of pre-cuts, and then we're going to stack these on top of them. Here's all the pre-cuts. These are 9-foot walls, so these are 104 5/8. And then I'm going to lay them out like this right across this pile of OSB I'm using as a workbench. But something I wanted to show you, so you got material, it's like this, you got edges missing, stuff like that. You'll want to turn it so that's going to be on the inside of the jack. So for instance, if that's the part laying up, we're going to take one of these boards, same way, we're going to have the rough side facing down. It's going to get sandwiched in the middle, so it's never seen. If you waited for a perfect stud or something, you'd be here wasting half this material because none of it's perfect. So just a little tip. So I'm going to go through and lay all my pre-cuts across here, then stack these on top of them. These are the nails I'm going to be using to shoot together these jacks. You want to make sure you get nails that's at least 3 1/4, because 2 studs are 1.5 inches. So the inspector's going to make sure at least a little bit sticking through the other side of that jack, so that way you know it's held together really tight. So let's go over here and start nailing together these jacks. All right, so you want to make sure your board that you cut, you're going to have sitting on top of your full pre-cut. So you have it here lined up at the edge. Okay. Make sure it's flush on both sides. So once we're flush on all sides, you're going to tack one nail in it. All right, and now you're going to go up the side here and line the whole thing up as if you're doing trim, flush on the side. Pop another one, and then come up here to the top of it, make sure it's flush, and do the same thing. That looks pretty good. Now we know the whole board is flush with each other, so then we go through and just nail it off. Alright, so that's enough on that side. And then after you nail the one side, you're just going to turn it over. See how I was telling you about how the nail should pop out the other side? And then we'll go through and just pop just a handful more. Right like that. And now you got one complete jack. And now what I'm going to go through and do, since I'm doing a bunch at once, I'm going to go line up all these bottoms and then just work them all at one time instead of working one at a time, because that takes too long. So we're going to do it like Henry Ford, the assembly line theory. What I'm doing here is I'm going through and nailing all the bottoms. So I'm going to line them up just like I showed you before. So that way they're all even. Then I'm going through the middle now, lining up the centers. I'm shooting them and nailing them off as I go. I ran out of nails, had to reload. And sometimes I don't shoot all the way. That's why you see me take a hammer. Then I go to the top and start shooting those off. And now all the jacks are lined up evenly, and I'm just shooting them off and nailing them, and then turn them over. Add about 6 more nails to the back, 2 on top, middle, and bottom. And then that is all there is to building your own jacks. That's your first pile of jacks built. So as you can see, I still got several more to build, but that's the quickest way I found to making a lot of jacks fast. So in case you're not sure how this works, your header, like I said, will sit down on this. Then you'll have one on the other side catching the other side of the header. And that makes the whole door opening. So, okay, that is all I wanted to show you today. The next video will probably be about building headers. All right, guys, I hope you found that video helpful. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you get a notification every time I release a new video. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.